Alrighty, folks, we are back with more Greg Tech New Horizons. We're gonna go hop right into the Vanguard server. And oh, hello to you too, JC. How's it going? And as the title says, I'm not quite sure what we're gonna be doing today. So we're just gonna be figuring it out as we go. There will be the usual starting with some farms, most likely. But even then, I'm not sure which crop to do next. Our spruce is done. Let's, I want to check something over here. Yeah, these drops are kind of slow. Blaze is kind of good. The Ender-related ones, not so much. I'm a little confused. Okay, gas tier, there it is. Playing some GTNH, I like to hear that. What you working on GTNH? Oh wow. All the fertilizers going to the Ender Bloom, and it's still the slowest of the bunch. Ooh, some's going to Argentina. Okay. Wow. All the fertilizers going to the Embloom, or Ender Bloom, and the Argentina. That's crazy. Oh, nothing much. Getting materials for 3 more PVFBs. Or PFBs. I misread that. Gathering the materials is always a grand experience, of course. PBF, okay. I see. So, anyone on? No. Idea? What does this give? Right, I can't find it that way. I guess I gotta go to the wiki real quick. Idea twig? Requires a mica ore? The heck is the Idea twig? Or mica? I don't know why my paste isn't working, but okay. It is just a dupe. I thought so. Okay, well, there's that. And there's Witherweed. I might do some Witherweed, honestly. I want to see something really quick, though. No oilberry yet. Unlucky. Does Witherweed? I don't think it needs anything under it, right? Requires coal block. Never mind, I'm wrong. Alright, I think I'm gonna take the Witherweed and stat that next. I have a Twilight Forest portal ready to be created now. Nice. Nice little Twilight adventure in the future. Alright, we know which ones to keep, the rest we can get rid of. We might as well dig these up as well. Soon I'll get my Steam base built, and once that happens I'll be scouting a new location for my LB base. Yeah, I know that's like the most normal way to play, having different bases for each tier, but I personally don't understand it. Like, I know eventually you need to have new bases, but I feel like a base per tier is the very common thing I hear from people. And to me, that doesn't really make sense. Like, I would personally lump, at the very least, Steam all the way up to Envy as one base, and just plot out a sizable region for all of that. And then maybe start doing a different base once I hit HV and beyond. But it seems the common route is just constantly changing bases. Personal achievements, Okay, so let me throw that out there for now. I'm going to take the coal blocks down here. I actually kind of want to challenge myself in my solo world. We'll see if it happens or not. But I do want to challenge myself to see if I can stick with the same base. Or I want to say at least throughout from the beginning to Ivy. I'm currently in LV on my solo world. Still in the same base. Hell, I'd go all the way to the end, but I don't know if that's a reasonable thing to challenge myself with. But just focus more on expanding the base that already exists along the way rather than planning out a new one. We'll see when I get back to my solo world how sustainable that really is. Not saying LV won't have Steam in it. I want to see how much I can do and also be a nice change for me to get out of my spawn location. That's fair. I just find it odd because that seems to be the very common thing I hear from most people. Like, they might have Steam and LV in the same location, but then very frequently after that, it's a new base per tier, and it just feels odd to my senses. I'm so glad I can just tear these down so quickly now. Tool upgrade is great. I'm someone who needs to move about, otherwise I get depressed just seeing the same thing over and over. Yeah, no, I know people have mentality like that. I also know people get bored really quickly and have to move because of it as well. It's, to me, like, I'm a forever world player, so I'm very content to just be in the same place and forever keep working on the same build. Or same place, I mean. Whoops, wrong thing. Oh, that's right, never mind. So every time I've ever played with people who are more... or who aren't Forever World players, who are constantly exploring and wanting to do new things, it's a very interesting experience. The amount of times I've had people that I've played with go, I found this new location we can build. Meanwhile, I'm still working on the base in the old location. I'm like, I'm not moving. Like, you could build there if you want. I'm perfectly fine here. Which is honestly the great thing about mod packs, because a lot of them end up having teleportation. So they can freely go build in that new location, and we can always just get back and forth quickly between them. Well, my own world's my own, so why not go ahead and expand? If I was playing on a public server, I'd sure I'd stick to myself, but also I don't play on servers. Well, I play on my own world most of the time too. And I still prefer staying in one place. And I probably picked that habit up from vanilla with spawn chunks. Because whenever I play vanilla, I'm focused on building around spawn chunks. Because I tend to try and do a lot of redstone related things and passive farms and whatnot. Which, obviously, with no chunk loading on vanilla, you kind of just... Well, I mean, there is ways, but I'd rather just build that spawn than deal with that stuff. So that probably has carried over into all my Minecraft playing, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I also get the sense, like, when I'm building stuff in an area, I'm never done with it. Like, every time I'm building something, I have, like, another 10 things I want to add to it in the future. So when people come around, it's like, hey, you want to start a new world or go to this new area I found? I'm like, no, I'm nowhere near done with here. Just don't play Minecraft for too long. That's the thing. I want to play it a long time. I want to dedicate myself to... That's why I like GTNH so much, because I want to dedicate myself to one world, one place. Not necessarily one place, but I do want to dedicate myself to what I'm working on in the long run. I don't have a main net here. But again, that's the different mentalities of Minecraft players for sure. Just play RL Craft. I would never play that. It looks atrocious in my opinion. Every time I've watched someone play it, and I think I tried to play it one time, yeah, no, everything about it just looks completely unbearably fun. Or unfun, I mean. There's one thing I hate about Minecraft mods more than anything, and it's that no Minecraft mod has ever done a good job of... And I don't mean specifically a singular mod, I should emphasize mod pack. One thing I dislike about a lot of mod pack mods is that all of the ones I've come across have failed miserably at doing good combat. Combat is always a thing that ruins mod pack mods, or mod packs in my mind, when they try to emphasize combat and they just don't do it well. There's very few mods in Minecraft that have done combat well, and you rarely even see them in mod packs anyway. So with the focus of all these special mobs and bosses and all this crazy crap going on in LLCraft, it just feels horrible. Because combat in Minecraft to me just feels generally awful, no matter what tweaks people put to it. Unless it's a complete and utter combat overhaul, which you rarely see and used in mod packs. So I could not bear RLCraft because it's everything I personally hate about certain aspects of Minecraft and Minecraft mods. So I am not a big fan of the Infernos or super mods. Nope, first time I played it, I got killed instantly when starting out. Yeah. Exactly. If Minecraft combat felt better, it wouldn't be a hassle, but Minecraft why do I keep saying mobs? Minecraft combat just doesn't feel good in general. I need to actually plant before I do this. I need to drop off seeds too. Don't need these. We got the Witherweed, right? Yes. And yeah, like I have come across some mods who have done combat well, but again, they've rarely been featured in mod packs I've played. And even then, like even when they are, they're usually like very combat oriented mod packs, which are not the kind of mod packs I like to play anyway, even if the combat is done well. I'm in Minecraft for the creativity of building, expanding, creating, and as you can see from GTNH, I love more things like factory building and automation, so combat is kind of the furthest thing that I'm looking for when I come to Minecraft. My experience with Minecraft combat is always just, let's get this over with. Yeah, exactly. I cannot wait when I'm playing Minecraft, mod packs even, to get to the point where I don't have to worry about combat at all anymore. Like, one example I can give is there's a lot of horror-based mods I've played on Minecraft, where their emphasis of horror is just loud noises, jump scares, and impossible to beat enemies who just run super fast and one-shot you and come out of nowhere. It's like, bad combat experience isn't a horror theme, guys. That's not how you make a horror game. Which just puts a big damper on any horror-focused Minecraft mod for me. I guess you could argue if you really hate bad combat, then having to experience it is definitely a horror, but it's not the kind of horror I'm looking for. I'm not looking to dread playing the game, I'm looking to be scared when I try to play a horror thing. Or thrilled. So dread definitely doesn't line up with that. I know some friends have been playing a mod pack called Deceased Craft, which to me is just not what I'm looking for. I actually haven't heard of that one. Let me look that up real quick. Zombie Apocalypse. You know, I can't say for sure just looking at images from this, but it has such a combat focus that it's focused more on gun combat, so obviously there's a bit of an overhaul there with all the different guns and whatnot. And plus, it looks like it has some kind of body-related injury, where different parts of your body get injured. So looking at that, it might be a fun experience perhaps, but that's still not the type of thing where I'm coming to Minecraft for usually. Though it doesn't look like it'd be dreadful combat-wise, at the very least, because of its focus. Not like, here, I've put in this super difficult to fight mob in the game, and you still have basic Minecraft combat, with just slightly different weapons. It's like, okay, but like, it's not fun fighting this special mob you've made because the combat in Minecraft in general feels terrible. There's so much tech, but it's not what I'm looking for. No, that's entirely fair. As I said, I'm more into creation, automation, factory building, even logistics handling and whatnot. There's so much tech, but I'm not. Oh wait, does it use the create mod in that mod pack? I didn't see anything on that, so I'm not sure. Alright, this looks like it's running fine. So that should get going. We'll put the rest of the seats away. Oh, I still need some of these because I'm going to be planting more. Question is, what am I planting again? Probably Plumbilia and Galvania. But yeah, personally, I don't think Create is overrated necessarily. I think it's rated exactly where it deserves to be. Because I do think it's actually good. But I think it's massively overused in like every way, shape, or form. Like everyone working on a mod pack for like the last 6 years is either Create has got to be the center focus of the mod pack, or, you know, well, we're working on a mod pack and there's Create there. You know, everyone uses Create. We got to throw it into our mod pack. Even if it doesn't really fit, just got to throw it in there, you know, shove it in there. Like every single mod pack is just out here going, Create's the hot new thing, so we can't be a mod pack without Create. And it's like, oh, okay. And then they do it terribly. And it's like, oh, okay, great. Overused, overrated, same meaning to me. Let's see. Do I have... This is the best we have, I think. Oh. No. Yeah, I guess this is the best we have. Nope, right? Where is it? Here. We got 3. We gotta get some lead down. I put away earlier for some reason. And I've said it before with Create, is that its main problem, because it's so prevalent and focused on by so many people, because it's, again, it's the hot new... It's not even new anymore, but it's like the hot in thing when it comes to Minecraft mods. And everyone wants to throw it in just to be relevant. The problem with it is that they do integration of it terribly, for starters. But even if they do integration right, the thing is, like, when you... Oh. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Huh. Oh, I guess we lost out on a number of mica there. Oh, what's this? Plumbilia? That's the Plumbilia, okay. Anyway, so even if they do the integration right, you get other problems in the sense of Create is not good for, let's use GTNH as an example. you're not going to be running create on a mod pack that has focus like GTNH does. You're just not. Because you're not going to be using create for that long. It's not sustainable performance-wise for starters. Not only that, like eventually, obviously compared to a lot of other tech mods, it is not compact enough either for large-scale factories type stuff you would see in a Greg Tech-based mod pack. And yet so many mod packs that want to be tech packs focus heavily on create as the main driving point from start to finish. And it's like, okay, but when I get to 300 hours in my mod pack, I don't want to still be using create stuff. It's not good for performance. Oh, I didn't do this other side, did I? No. It's not good performance-wise when I have well over 200-300 chunks worth of stuff going on, create-wise. It's just not. And trying to pretend it is definitely not good either. I feel like create excels for early game use. That it should be something that if it's in a mod pack, it should be there for the very early game primitive type tech stuff, and it should be phased out relatively quickly as you start getting into more heavy tech stuff. Once you start, for example, Greg Tech wise, once you start hitting electricity, like create should start becoming more and more irrelevant as you progress through electricity. For example, if we were going to use Greg Tech as an example, it should not be at the start of the pack all the way to the end of the pack. That's just not, in my opinion, that's not good game design if you're trying to make a tech pack. And a lot of people try to do that anyway. Like, you might be able to get away with, okay, I've made a 4x5 chunk create factory in my early game here. Yeah, but you're not going to want to create 12 of those factories, 20 of those factories, 30 of those factories. One factory is going to be a bit performant demanded on its own. Once you start putting more and more huge multi-chunk factories down like that, all running create contraptions, it's not good for your computer. It's not good for the server. It's just not good. It may look great, it doesn't perform that well once you start getting really into it. Back in the day, we had mods that worked well. But here's the thing, I think create does work well, but because it's so focused on aesthetics and looking good, it doesn't work well in the sense of long-term performance. It works well for what it does, but like, I don't think it was ever meant to be this huge, scaled, up tech focused mod. I just really don't. But that's what people seem to want it to be in the modern day, which is just really bad mentality. And again, I think a lot of it comes down to just, it's the hot mod on the market right now, so everyone's got to use it or else they're not going to be relevant. Or at least that's the thinking people have when making their mod packs. Which, if that's why you're implementing something into a mod pack, well, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Because it's not going to equate to good game design at that point if that's why you're doing it. Alright, so I think I did everything right. Let's get you going. But yeah, I do think it's massively overused, and it's used for the wrong reasons a lot of the time. But for what it does, I think it does what it does well. It's just, I don't think it was ever meant to be what people are trying to make it be in the recent years with such a heavy focus in a lot of mod packs. I don't think that's ever what it was supposed to be. Because if that was what it was supposed to be, every additional update they have, like the big major updates they have pretty much once a year, would be adding more and more features to make it focused on that type of gameplay. and probably to help with performance-wise stuff as well, which is not what we get on Create with its big updates at all, which again points towards that's never what it was supposed to be to begin with, so people need to stop trying to force it into that shape that it just doesn't fit in. Okay, I guess this is all we got for this as well. Unlucky. Oh, what do I need for you? Sink. Sink. We got sink, okay. And speaking of Create, I just gotta say, biggest disappointment for me is that I've been waiting since I first played Create. Damn, double clicking. Strikes again. Since I first played Create, I've been waiting for some kind of mod to come out that integrates itself with Create, in the sense of, you know, those mods that are very not prevalent, where it gives you like flowing rivers, where the rivers actually flow in a direction. Gives you slightly realistic flowing rivers with waterfalls at the end so that you can travel down the rivers and whatnot. There's a number of mods like that I've seen, but they're usually abandoned pretty quickly. Probably because the difficulty of making that kind of mod and then upgrading it for each new version along the way, I would assume. But I want to see a mod that uses that kind of flowing river idea, integrate it with Create's water oil, so that the stronger the currents of the river, the more power you generate with a water oil. But yeah, as I said, those types of mods don't usually get worked on, and when they do, they get abandoned quite fast, unfortunately. Because Create's style would go hand in hand with physics mods, for sure, or physics-oriented mods, or physics-type mods. Doesn't necessarily have to be actual physics, even just slight bad, not even bad, but just slightly simulated ideals, like a flowing river with different speed currents. I've noticed that GTNH is getting some updates with the old streams mods, which would be just cosmetic for this. You got me excited there for a moment. One of the things I was trying to look into before I played GTNH was I wanted to do more with the water angle. I wanted to have mods like the puddles mod to get puddles on when it rains. I wanted mods like when it rains, it could potentially cause the raising of water bodies occasionally. That's what I was trying to say. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say there. I wanted things that would go hand in hand with the with water not being water source blocks that can be created, so not in finite water, that's it. I wanted water-based mods that can go hand in hand with the finite-based water system, but majority of the ones I could find were for like 1.12 and 1.16. And that was pretty much it. They weren't even for newer versions of Minecraft, let alone older ones, and I was like, that's unlucky. But I won't complain about more cosmetic goodness coming to GTNH. Alright, these are running. The operator aware of 2.7.3? You mean the server admin? If so, I believe he is. I'm pretty sure he is. We've had very little talks on whether or not we update. We did at the start when we first started, but there hasn't been a lot of talks about that since. I did ask him the other day if he would update to 2.8 or not, or what was the situation with the discussion on that topic. And he did say he would like to, but it hasn't really been discussed in a while, so he's not sure what people's feelings are on that. I would assume most people would be positive on that, though, because there's a lot of great changes coming along here. So just a matter of getting that discussion going. Oh, this is finished off. Nice. Alright, so we got the farms going. Let me just make sure I did do the Witherweed down here, right? Yes. Good. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting features coming. Like 2.7.3 has some nice stuff. 2.8 is going to have some nice things. I'm personally really excited for the additional AE2 cards because they are exactly what I was asking for when getting into AE2 the last few weeks. And they were actually specifically two of the things that I thought to myself, or not to myself, I said it out loud on stream, that I thought were greatly missing in AE2 and thought would be really, really useful in a mod pack like GTNH. And people were telling me that they already exist in modern versions of AE2, so I was like, alright, we need to get on that backporting. Apparently, they were already backporting both those features already, so I'm quite excited to get my hands on those for sure. They're adding equal distribution cards and overflow destruction cards. So now that I just said that, it kind of gave me a thought. I need to test something really quick. I didn't even think of it, but you can partition a void cell, can't you? You can. Neat. I didn't know you could. For some reason, I just assumed you wouldn't be able to, but you can. Like a round robin card. For the equal distribution. The equal distribution, if that's what you're talking about, is essentially... So when I partitioned my cards for the first time, I thought that they worked in the sense of not only does it filter those particular types, but that it also would make it so that, say you put 8 types on a partition, I thought all 8 types would have the same limited amount of space and no more. And so that one type couldn't fill up the entire cell, which is not the case. The equal distribution card forces that behavior. So not only do you... so you still have to partition your card for the types you want in it, but the equal distribution makes it so that you only have a certain amount of space per type that's filtered. So if you don't filter it at all, and you have 63 types in your cell, all 63 of those types that you have in that cell would have the same amount of space available. No more, no less. So say if I take the 6,000, or whoops, I can't type. Let's just do that, it's easier. And we times that by 8, so we get about 524,000 or so. We divide that by the 63. Every single type would have 8,324 type, or 8,324 items available. And of course, that can be changed up based on partitioning filters. That's going to make organizing so much easier. It really is. It absolutely is. The calculator mod name, this is called Just Enough Calculation. It's an additional mod that's on the additional mod page of GTNH's wiki, so it's easy to find. Client side only, I believe, so very easy to use. No problem. Happy to answer. But yeah, Casvantas, it's gonna make organizing and handling logistics issues so much nicer, for sure. Like, a lot of what I've been doing lately has been more focused on super chests and block cells for one type to one cell. And I'm not a fan of that, because that means one type is getting so much storage, more than it actually needs, in my opinion. The other thing is, you get the overflow destruction card, so you don't have to have a whole cell dedicated to voiding. You could put it on this cell. You could put the card on this cell, and it won't void instantly. So you're not wasting one cell in your 10 drives. You can make it so, because the overflow voiding card doesn't, unlike the voiding cell, doesn't void the moment something comes into it. It only starts voiding when it's full. So when the cell is full of space and has no more room, anything that tries to go into it will void. So if you have a bunch of partition cells with equal distribution all filling up here, and if they all have voiding the overflow destruction card, bam, they'll all start voiding the moment they get full, rather than just trying to find other cells to fill up. It's going to be great. How's table? Oh, I'm doing well, Tangent Turno. We just got some farms going, and I'm trying to figure out what to do next. We're discussing some stuff that are coming out in 2.8 at the moment. How are you doing? How's it going? It's like a dev null. Like a dev null. I don't know if I should be insulted. It's hard to figure out with that one. Okay, while I'm here, I need to figure out the... Ooh, netherrack is almost empty, eh? I'm gonna need additional farms up in here, I think. Because I'm soaking up all these resources I've planted. But I need to figure out, are we full? We're still not full on helium. That's crazy. I really want to know what's gonna go with the helium after that gets full. I think it should get voided because of the voiding cell I have on the subnet, but I'm not positive. And if it goes to the fluid storage building, I'm pretty sure the helium there is set to void, so it should void either way. But I would like to know how it's going to be handled. The other thing is, I know there's like another 20 million helium being stored somewhere else that's not my subnet and is not over here. And I have no idea where that helium is. This is not set to voiding. We'll have to remember that in the future. Do I want to go to the pool or just go ahead and get ready for bed? Depends on how tired you are. Yeah, so we have 24 million helium in the subnet. We have 1 million that's in the fluid storage building. So there is about 26 million. No, sorry, 51 million somewhere else. I have no idea where. In fact, I should check here. Not here. Where is this 50-something million helium? If you go to the pool, you'll be more tired and head to bed earlier. Unless he gets addicted to swimming and swims far too long. Oh wow, someone upgraded all these. I didn't even notice. It's been a while since I've been in here. Oh, they did it over here as well, eh? Good job, team. Okay, but though, where is this helium? I'm kind of really curious. Not here. Maybe bees? Would they need that much helium at bees? The whole giant ass base that looks like an arena. We actually had a real arena once. Doesn't exist anymore. Might be better to use stocking input bosses to try and consolidate my centrifuges down a bit more, rather than having one dedicated to each thing, but I don't know. We'll figure that out later. I only learned about the stocking input buses a couple days ago, so still need to get used to them. Is there a terminal in here that I can look at? Why? That's why. You know what? I just realized I'm only using a normal storage bus. Though, to be fair, both my subnet and the mainnet have fluid discretizers, so... I'm wondering, though, is this picking up the helium that's on my subnet? I think it is. But I'm not positive now. I think it is, because both sides have fluid discretizers, so they'll treat it as an item. A blazing. Oh, hey, a blazing. How's it going? I do like all the ME systems working with each other. We got a lot of different styles of how people handle things, so it's really interesting to see how everything is connected up. And it's nice that it's all connected up. And honestly, I think I'm going to dig a bit. I'm going to take these new tools for a spin. I think that's what we're going to do. Which means we want to dig out here. What's the mining speed? Let's see. 15.2, and 14.8. So I don't know how the modifiers get added, because if you look at the mining speed of all the parts, they're all 32 each. So I don't know how that aggregates to 15.2. Not entirely sure, but... Whoops. That's upsetting. Oh, and I did it again. The hammer gets half the speed from parts. But is that half? Because 15.2 would be less than half of 32. And all three parts have 32. Part divided by 2 plus part divided by 2 plus part divided by 2 divided by 3. Okay, so there's obviously there was a math for it. I just wasn't sure what it was. That makes sense then. It's because there's a negative mod for hammer. Either way, I can mine most things now with my hammer. And I believe it's more than 3 times faster than it was before. I think it's 4 times faster, actually. Alright, let's dig out this side just so we know where we're going. My current hammer is 65.2. Oh, sheesh. What is your hammer made out of? What bonuses does it got? Unstable ingots. Is it a Tinker's hammer, or is it something else? I'm gonna look at the unstable in a moment. Oh, it is. Wow. Okay. Let's look at hammer head. Unstable induced. Extremely unstable. So you make your hammer first of magical wood to get 8 modifiers. Then you switch out the parts to unstable ingots, which makes it unbreakable. And then you blast it with redstone. I only have 7 modifiers myself. Well, I don't understand. I might be looking at the wrong type. Because I'm looking at, this is unstable induced hammer. How do I find what you're talking about exactly? Because that mining speed is 3 times less than the material I'm using. I also meant to delete these earlier, I forgot. Oh wow, we're already full on this, that was quick. Okay, I still have to block a sink, whoops. And this should go in here for now. Alright, let's put all the stone in here. It's because of the modifiers from the magical wood, but I don't follow. I'm misunderstanding something here. Because you're talking about modifiers which just allow you to add different. So like for example, I have 5 modifiers remaining. The only 2 I've used so far are full redstone and full lapis. Is there something I'm missing? Because you said throw on a whole bunch of redstone. I've already maxed out redstone. Is there a way to go over the max? You haven't maxed redstone? It says 50 out of 50. And it wouldn't let me go past this when I tried. Here, let me allow links real quick. I gotta go to page here. Where? There it is. Alright, you can send a link now. I'm not sure how you go further then. Is it the magical wood that lets you? Because I have 5 more modifiers, and it wouldn't let me add more redstone. It capped out at 50. And I tried. Alright, so redstone 650 out of 650. Unstable induced. I see. Just add more redstone. Go to add more now. You can put up 300 on that one with current modifiers. You just need to fill it fully before you go over it. You can't go from 48 to 52. Yeah, you can only go at 50 at a time. Once you reach 50, you can go more after that. Okay. I swear I tried this, but let's try it again. Wait, no, hold on, I gotta repair it, right? Unless, do I not have to repair it? No, you don't. Wow. Okay, well that explains that then. I will do that later then. I don't feel like doing it right now. But, wow, okay. That explains that. I was wondering, because the unstable was way lower, but if you're just stacking more and more redstone, does that mean... Damn. Maybe I should have just kept leveling my tool. Got that 8 modifiers you had, and then did it that way. And the only reason you did the unstable, though, was for unbreaking, right? Alright, that makes sense. Because my first thoughts were... how are you going to repair that? But yeah, it's unbreaking, you don't need to repair that. Can you all go in, please? Thank you. Okay, let's get back to digging. On that note, is there somewhere I can look at a list of all the different modifiers that can be added to tools? Like, the Tinker's Tools, or the Tinker's Construct Tools page on the wiki, I don't think the few times I've read through it, I don't think I've seen a list of all the different modifiers, just what modifiers you should put on each tool, and I kind of want to see the different modifiers for myself. Because compared to what most people do, magical wood, unstable, handle, and full Peridito, it's way faster. Because you use 6 modifiers on reinforce or Peridito. It's not stable stuff. Stable if you do it a stack at a time. Materials and U-book. Materials and U-book. Oh. Let's do that right now and put them in a chest to remind me to look at them. Thank you for that, JC. So it was blank pattern. We're going to want 2. And then paper, which we also want 2 of. We're going to go ahead and make the book. And then one of them we're going to turn into volume 2. Can you turn it back into volume 1? Oh, no, you can't. Okay. Let me see. Neat, okay. I'll have to go through this in full at a later date. Because I do want to get more familiar with the tools that are the modifiers that aren't recommended on the Tinker's page. Yes, Tangent, any more than 2? Redstone and lapis is all you need. Well, that's the thing. I don't want to just take other people's words for it. I want to know why for myself. So I kind of just want to look into it myself because of that. That glove is good, by the way. In HP, you can make that glove and get an extra 500 redstone. Traveler's Glove is fantastic. On top of that, getting a Van Brace of steady progression. You don't have to lose half your mining speed when flying. Oh, hold on a moment. What'd you just say? Van Brace of steady progression? This, that might be something I want to do, like, literally right now. The others are more combat-oriented. So the Van Brace of steady progression lets you mine normal speed when flying. What's the Traveler's Glove do exactly? You make the glove and it gives you 500 extra redstone. Is that like all it does? I can't imagine that's all it does. Well, that's the thing. On the server, like, we do have a place where you can request for certain gear, for certain things we can't access. But, like, that's for certain things we can access. And it's not like there's a list of all the gear that's available being talked about, so it's just up to our own knowledge, I guess, and my knowledge is not that grand. The others are more combat-oriented, knockback, more head drops, more damage, smiting, and some dead. That's all it does. It just gives you more redstone. Like, just one time, or, like, all the time. As just standard quality of life stuff in GTNH. Hey, FX. Okay, so it was called the Van Brace of steady progression. Oh, it's a witching gadget. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it then. I'd have to request someone for that. Oh well. Gloves will need the redstone put inside it. Even punching becomes faster. Yeah, you need someone to farm kind of fast. It's not expensive at all. There's a platinum ingot, van brace, coffee powder, and 2 other junk. We should have all that, depending on what the other 2 junk are. Two coffee powder and a potion of speed. Simple enough. What? Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I haven't, damn it. I haven't filled out that area yet. Actually, I should add these there just to remind me for when I get off later. But yeah, thanks for telling me the whole magical wood exploit thing wasn't patched out of Blazing, even though you weren't directing it to me. So, actually, I was going to ask you about that, and I kind of forgot to. How does that work? I assumed that when you changed materials, any... Damn, whoops. Any bonus you got for that material would be lost when you change the material, but obviously it doesn't sound like it's the case. So now I'm a little confused on how that works. When you make a tool out of magical wood, it gets 8 modifiers by default, and it keeps those when you change it. It's not a bug. It's intentional. So, do you have to make it out of the magical wood? Or if I changed my tools to a magical wood right now, and then changed them back, would I still get the 8 modifiers? Or the extra modifiers? Damn. I'll remember that for the future. Heck, I will remember that for when I go back to my solo world, honestly. And I assume it's just any magical wood. Page, I believe in GTNH Slamcraft tab goes over it. I assume you mean the quest then. Oh, it's literally called magical wood. Let me see. And I think you mean actually over here. Hmm. Anyway, it was a bug because later versions made some ways, even if the magical wood was turned unbreakable, still had a chance to insta-break. Then Thaumcraft book, not in the quest book. Just the block you see there, but you won't have the research. Oh well. Maybe I don't do that in my solo world then. I kind of really just... Like, I'm gonna have to get into Thom, but, like, I'm absolutely dreading it. The very idea of Thaumcraft is antithesis to everything I like in Minecraft. It's completely antithetical in every way. No, Thaumcraft is terrible. I don't care what anyone says. Having to spend so long with Warp and dealing with Warp is an absolute terrible game design as far as I'm concerned. Especially if you have no idea what you're doing and you get some kind of terrible friggin' bullcrap permanent warp going on. And specifically for me in my solo world, it's because I'm a very slow goer. Like, I'm 300 hours in my solo world. I'm still in LV. I probably won't be HV until like 1,000 hours. And I probably won't be EV until like 1,500 hours. Maybe even more than that. So by the time you can get things that can actually help you handle warp, I've already suffered the warp debuffs for way, way, way too long. So to me, it's just terrible. If you change the config to know what research you need and what it takes to craft, you have to change it on the server side or on client side. Because either way, I'm not too concerned with it just because I don't have any Thom research anyway. You just have to account for handling warp. Yeah, but isn't there terrible types of warps effects that are way harder to get rid of that you might mess up on because you don't actually know, because you have no idea about the research you're getting into as you're doing it? You can get rid of warp in LV. And how sustainable is it to do that, though? Like, how much time do you have to put into working on that, for example? Where did this come from? What the heck? Where did I... There you are. Yeah? Oh, okay. Interesting. How did I do that? Oh well. We should be able to do it from underneath here. There. Mod options, Thaumcraft, any additions, show log recipes true. We are talking like soap, yes. There's 3 soaps, each one removes 1 type of orb. Guaranteed if you make an arcane spawn. See, you say it's easy, but like, we didn't even have an arcane spa on the server until 5 or 6 days ago. And we're playing with 20 people, like 5 or 6 of which are all actively working in Thom. And like that might be sustainable if you know what you're doing, but as a person of no Thaumcraft knowledge and who takes forever to do the most basic of things, it would take me way too long to get to that point. And like as for soap, let me see. These are the 3: sanitizing, whatever that says, and Alistair's. Or was it Thaumcraft NEI editions? Show log recipes. Did I not save it? Okay. That was weird. Why didn't it save the first time? Weird. Probably because they didn't care about warp. You can ignore warp like 115 total. Now should I wear the One Ring? Yeah, see, this is a whole lot of work that, in my opinion, you shouldn't have to do. This is a huge, massive distraction from the actual things in the game that are fun to me, that I would not enjoy doing whatsoever. And of course, I'm assuming that they all need soapstone, because they probably all use magic tallow, so now I have to worry about getting some sustainable source of soapstone of some sort, and doing all this different research constantly to get more and more soap, then trying to find a way to automate it eventually, and it's just an unnecessary side quest in my opinion. It's something that maybe not needed to progress, but I'm going to want. I wouldn't ever do it early game is what I'm saying. It's something I would do when I have a lot more infrastructure to work with, so that I wouldn't have to deal with the debuffs. Like, so when I start getting into it, basically, I want to be able to already start setting up stuff as quickly as possible to be able to handle the debuffs as quickly as possible. That would be the way I would pay attention to it. Because anything before that would just make me hate the game, like straight up. Because I would either be ignoring my warp, which would drive me crazy, or I'd be doing constant soap making side quests, which would also drive me crazy. So I'd have to get into it when I have the infrastructure down to get it automated as fast as, or get the soap automated as fast as possible. But as soon as I am able to do that, it's definitely something I need to get into, because Thom just gives you way too much benefits. You can't progress into Thaumcraft without taking on at least 180 warp before you get a pure tier, and that's with rushing through the research. So I would also not only have to have the infrastructure ready to go, I'd have to then dedicate probably a couple days straight to craft research. I'd have to plan it out ahead, like, okay, here's where I'm going to do Thom now, and only Thom for the next little while. That wouldn't be awful, because the thing is, I wouldn't want to be bouncing back and forth between what I find to be the fun things, as in the automation and factory building and logistics handling and all that. I wouldn't want to be jumping back and forth between that and the Thaumcraft side quest minigame, let's call it, constantly. It would just put me on edge, which would put me in a bad mood when trying to play. So I'd rather just do it all at once. Or maybe not the whole Thaumcraft research tree at once, but up until I can actually sustainably get rid of warp, and then I wouldn't mind it as much. Vanguard Run. I was looking at it yesterday. Something about it I didn't like. I don't remember what it was. What did I not like about you? Oh, it can switch between Silk Touch. I didn't notice that yesterday. I might have been thinking of something else. I'm not sure. I might have been thinking of some other tool. I don't think it was Vadra. I've seen Vadra before, but I think I was thinking of a different tool. Because when you said Vadra, my first thought was some kind of wrench, so I must have been thinking some of the tool, because that's definitely not a wrench. But what's the mining speed on that? Is it instant? I assume that's instant, if it's the peak mining tool. Instant, yeah, okay. I would like that. Problem is, I would need to get a new mouse before I get that, because I'm having a double-click issue, which would make me constantly end up breaking things I wouldn't want to break, trying to use that. Are we getting a blood moon? Can't wait till they push back matter manipulator tiers +4 right before 2.8. You're giving them too many powerful ideas. Hey, you know what? Hold on. I don't care. We'll just replace the anti-blocks. Easier that way. Damn it. Oh wait, no, that just is easier. This is dirt. Much easier. Oh wow, we already filled up the back, okay. We're mining way too fast nowadays. Oh, it's happening, I promise. They get quality of life until, like, you will not enjoy anything of quality until you're at this tier in particular. You got it? Average GTNH dev moment. I mean, yeah. Very accurate. Anti-blocks? What about Uncle Blocks? Is that a thing? Please tell me that's not a thing. Because if so, that's hilarious. I finally found the cheaty Chinese mods. Did not know someone backported programmed circuit cards. That's not a thing, okay. What's the cheaty, backported programmed circuit cards? There's also a mod that changes all recipes to either 1/10th time or 1/5th. Why? Why even bother at that point? You don't want to play GTNH if that's what you're doing. You want to play some other easier Greg Tech mod at that point. At that point, just make everything handcraftable, honestly. No wait time at all, it's just instant. They also do the no nerf mod, brings back the assembler / LEGSD. Easier, no less tedious. It's way less tedious. If so many recipes are just one tick, you're not waiting as long. You're not waiting at all, most of the time. Waiting isn't skill. I think to a degree it is, but not to an excessive degree of the types of later crafts that actually take days and weeks. But like, if you can't wait 60 seconds for a craft, you gotta have that at one tick. That's a skill issue in my opinion. We're talking about a mod pack where there's always something you can be doing in that 60 seconds. That's what I said. It's a huge difference between crafts that take an hour tops versus crafts that take more than a week. Huge difference. That's why I said if you have a problem with like 60 seconds crafts in particular, or even just an hour-long craft in particular, that's a skill issue. But having a problem with a week-long craft is completely reasonable. I mean, I'll just say it. If that thing that you're crafting for over a week, or multiple weeks, or however long it is, if that's something you need more than one of, you should spend your time building more infrastructure so you can build more than one at a time, rather than playing another pack. But it is still reasonable to go, I don't got time for that crap. Do I want to dig out this side? I don't think I do yet. I think I've dug out enough for the foreseeable future. Just gotta flatten this. You can't. GTNH becomes MSPT limited by late mid-game. You have to... You're gonna have to say or describe what you mean by MSPT. Oh, TPS. Okay. I mean, just get a better hardware, you know? Sounds like a real-life financial, skill set issue, you know? You weren't born with a quantum supercomputer setup? I mean, if we're playing in GTNH without quantum computer setups, I think we've all failed at that point. Including me, because I'm definitely not. You haven't actually built your fusion reactor in real life yet to power your homemade quantum supercomputers? I thought that was a part of GTNH, you know? Oh wow, I can't even see. I gotta go down a lot later. Okay. Let me empty my inventory first, because it's annoying me. Oh, I took a lathe block from somewhere. I'm gonna have to figure that out. To be fair, the skill at that point is making setups that don't lag, so you can scale more than the next player. That's, yeah, that is a fair way to look at it, because I would look at that in the same vein as people who are trying to optimize the crap out of their vanilla redstone builds. More compact, smaller, more performant and whatnot. That would be the same regard as what you're doing late stage Greg Tech. More compact, more scalable, more performant, more optimal. And there is a certain level of fun and skill involved in that for the right kind of player base. Obviously, since there's people who actually love that aspect and focus on that aspect. And that's why a lot of people get trapped in the end game forever. Yeah? No, that's perfect. That makes perfect sense because, like, I mean, let's look at it. Early game is an entirely different game than late game. Mid game, still an entirely different game than late game. And I can't speak on the difference between late game and end game, but I assume they also feel very different. Every stage of this mod pack just generally feels different from what I've observed and what I've played myself. And the idea of simplifying their knowledge set is, or probably doesn't feel good. So the more complex setups need to be, the more fun they have. Nope, that makes perfect sense. There are times where I've done things, both in this mod pack and other mod packs, that I know have better solutions later on that are not available to me yet, and it has felt very awful doing things in an efficient, suboptimal way compared to what I know is a much better way, but just not capable of doing yet. It's not a great feeling, honestly. Like, I'll bear through it, obviously, but it does generally feel bad. Like the 50 people who can understand vanilla binary encoded yeah, those 50 people. And only those 50 people. So, I would definitely be hated as a GTNH dev, because I've said it before, and I will say it again. While I do get that bad feeling I was just talking about, I am able to bear through it because it is satisfying when you do push through it and get to what you're actually trying to get to. It's a level of hard work that I appreciate more in a game setting like this than I appreciate in real life, if I'm being honest. It feels just far more satisfying. And to that degree, I do love... there's aspects about early games that I do enjoy, even in GTNH. And I've said it before, I love primitive type games as well, when in survival experiences, like Terraform Craft and, you know, what an inspired and vintage story and stuff like that. And my ideal game would be something that starts off really primitive and a huge slog of a grind, where it takes like a whole year or two in-game to actually get situated food-wise and survivability-wise, before you can finally actually start getting into, well, in GTNH's case, the actual fun of logistics and factory building and automation and whatnot. But I obviously know that no one wants to spend that much time on such an early primitive game state. Well, not no one, there are people, but that is not GTNH's audience. If I was a GTNH devs, I would be pushing for more stuff like that early game, and I'd probably be hated for it. I love the complexity of endgame GTNH. I'm not a fan of the sheer scale of it, though. I'm really hoping matter manipulator. Is it reasonable at least pasting in multis universal setups by CPM? I have to actually look up stuff on it. I've only heard about it so far and haven't really looked into it too much. GTNH players hate early game though. Yeah, but do they hate early game because they like late game more? Or do they hate early game because it's not an enriching experience? What if we made it more of an enriching experience? What if we just went full on Terra Firma Greg for the early game, you know? Would you hate that? I feel like most people in the GTNH community would hate that. You know, add some Better Than Wolves bullshit in there as well. Then play Terraformer Greg. Yeah, but Terraformer Greg doesn't get as interesting late game as GTNH does, is what I'm saying. Like, I want the interesting early game with the interesting late game. Personally, me personally. I'd probably play the older version of GTNH if Terraformer Craft was involved. What's wrong with the early game? It depends on what you mean, Prekius. If you are talking about what I was mentioning with the early game of GTNH, I don't hate it. I just know a lot of people do hate it. As a Blazing, I think it was a Blazing who said earlier. Hey man, how are you? I'm doing good, Panda. I'm doing quite well. We're not doing a whole lot today, but I'm vibing and enjoying myself. How are you doing? By the way, Feather and Wolves itself is really designed to be played on its own. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that statement. There are some early game stuff, not the late game stuff or the mid game stuff, but there's some early game mechanics that I do like from Better Than Wolves that I would like to see in other stuff, is more what I meant. That's why I said cherry pick some stuff from Better Than Wolves even. I'm no fan. Oh, wait, hold on. I guess you sort of play. I guess you gotta play Terraform Greg Tech New Horizons then. I don't like it, but a lot of people that. Wait, is there actually. You're not just. That's not a thing. I don't think that's a thing. You're making that up, right? That's not a thing. Oh my god, I find a whole forum of someone wondering if it's a real thing, and the first response is they were probably making a joke. That's exactly what I was expected to find, though. Hey, let's put it this way. If it existed, I'd probably be playing it right now. No joke. If it had the same level of depth and complexity as GTNH did, or the same level of early game depth and complexity that Terraformer Greg had, I'd be all on it. And I'd probably be taking 600 hours in LV in my solo world than if I was doing just the standard. Oh, I went too far down this time. I was working on tier 2 rocket parts. I need basic wafers. Are we out of basic wafers? They should be auto-craftable. Fortune plus new Steam multis went a long way in improving early game. Yes, absolutely. A part of me, before I get back to my solo world, which I do plan on doing one day, before I do that, a part of me wants to try to do a GTNH hardcore gauntlet where I just play hardcore over and over again for a couple of weeks, see how many times I die, and get more used to the early game again. before going back to my solo world. Purely because of changes like Fortune and the Steam multis. I want to play around with more than... Like, I was already making the Steam multis in my solo world, but... And they will go a long way, I'm sure, but they're not going to go as long as if I was starting a new world over. No, they are a different type. Do you enjoy hand mining? I do, but not all the time. I know there's, like, a number of people who don't like auto miners at all and do prefer hand mining. I like to hand mine from time to time, but I also do like having the option to auto mine things, obviously, because it just makes life easier. But, like, I don't abhor hand mining so much that I will never ever want to do it. Case in point, I'm not even mining anything right now, but, like, look what I'm spending my time doing. And I'm not doing this for any particular purpose. Like, it's gonna help me, because I needed to dig this out anyway, but I'm just doing this kind of to mess around with my new tools. It's so satisfying, able to break all this so quickly now. I meant, what you're currently doing. I do like this, yes. But mostly because, it's just... I'm enjoying my new tools. But I do like this. Like, I don't know if you were there the day I dug out up here. Come on. When I dug out up here, which is... I think it's 3x4 chunks. So 12 chunks. I dug out all this and all of that up there in about 10 hours with netherrack tools. If I didn't enjoy just mindlessly digging in a giant hole occasionally, I never would have done that. I love coming back for 12-hour factory work to hand mine in hardcore darkness with the pickaxe. You know about the filler, right? I don't think so. I might. Depends on what that is. I can't. It's not coming to the top of my head. I didn't mind hand mining, but with this new hammer tech, I love mining now. Yeah, no, that's entirely fair, Ablazing. Oh, Buildcraft's filler and builder are a thing in this? That's nice. Well, I know World Edit, though. I don't like World Edit. It feels too cheaty to me. Like, way too cheaty. Also, I wouldn't... Even if I was willing to use World Edit to build things, I would never use it to dig things. That would feel, like, supremely cheaty in my mind. Like, I'm not going to knock people for using it, but for me, I wouldn't be satisfied at all. It wouldn't feel as an achievement to me if I used it. Filler is one of the best to void, that voids areas, right? Not the builder? I believe so, yes. I use World Edit to the landscape. See, and I completely understand why you would do that, for sure. As I said, I'm not going to knock anyone for using it. For me, though, I just wouldn't feel as satisfied. I get a very big satisfaction of time spent on a project. Especially if I actually appreciate and make use out of whatever that project is. So, like in GTNH, most things you're going to be working on, you're actually going to get use out of that, for the most part, unless you're mindlessly wasting time. And it's just extra satisfying when it's something that you're actually going to get use out of. Filler is pretty satisfying to watch. You said it was Buildcraft. Is it called Filler? In fact, hold on. Okay, so there's Buildcraft, and then there's VC Builders. So VC Builders. Quarry. I assume the filler voids, like you said. So it can just do a giant hole for you. And the quarry is actually like a miner, so it doesn't void stuff. It actually fills up what you're doing. And the quarry will not just mine ore, but like dirt and stone and stuff as well. So one voids and one doesn't, I assume. Oh, Corey's recipe is disabled. Interesting. Okay. Oh, there's a builder? What does that do? It's not that expensive either. I'll have to remember this exists, because I won't mind using this. If I can get a tech solution that I actually have to, like, put an investment in to get, I'm perfectly satisfied using that. That's the thing about World Edit I don't like. It's just, it feels like just turning on sheets. Building something like this does not. Firestone. Oh, that's something you dig? Oh. Okay, it feels like, even though it's all MV stuff to build this, it feels like this would be something that you're not getting at MV at all. There's not another way to get this? Cubic zirconia? Oh, that's CPM though. Okay, that looks like I'm either missing something here, or that's a very odd form of gating, but okay. Landscaping World Edit already takes long enough. Manually doing it would make my lifespan away. Yes, I understand Folia Blazing, trust me. But I definitely have the same mentality of those very, how do I say this? Those kinds of players who legitimately do those giant mega builds on hardcore Minecraft without off-screen mining and building, you know? I have that mindset. If I'm not actually doing it, it doesn't feel as satisfying. Okay, so let me see. That's right, okay. Quarry's recipes disable and increase the general quarry option. Makes sense since the quarry itself can mine tile entities, which direct tech ores are all tile entities. Yeah, but isn't the whole point of the quarry to mine everything within a certain range, including ores? So not just dirt and stone, but ores as well? I thought that was the whole point of the quarry. Unless I'm mistaken. Hey, what did I... I'm doing this backwards somehow. What have I messed up? I messed something up. Not that any of this matters, it just makes... I just like to do it. Okay. Just spent 20 minutes wondering why my universal LCRs aren't working. I forgot to set my filters. That would do it. I really need to learn exactly how all that works. I have some of the ideas behind it understood, but a lot of like the mechanics involved definitely go over my head, and that's mostly because like I know what I saw with Nine's setup, for example, that he did on the server here. Looking at that setup, my main confusion is the stuff I haven't actually really used. So just playing with those things would definitely help me in that regard. Yeah, I don't need that sign anymore. How entities aren't allowed? Something weird happened? I think it had to do with lag. Okay, that would be a fair reason then. Where did this lathe come from? Where did I get this block? Not a glow block, right? Yeah. Doesn't look to be anywhere here. Why can't I fly? I'm double clicking, let's go. Oh, right. I don't like that you can do that. That's kind of really annoying. I'm sure there's obviously good decorative uses for that, but it grosses me out. How entities in vanilla are anything with a storage, so chests, furnaces, and such. The heck? Okay, can I find the missing piece up here, perhaps? What? Did it happen over there, too? No, it didn't. Why did it happen over here? Awkward. Oh, I wasn't on the ground. I thought I was. There you go. For some reason, GT5 made all their ores tile entities. That is a weird decision. That was Blade Master, I believe. So that's not something missing. I'm so confused. Where did this lathe come from? Well, wherever it came from, it's gone forever. Maybe it had to do with the ore node system? Alright. So let's just throw this in here, I guess. Let's see. Was more sand getting made because I threw more stone in? No. Apparently, I can't remember things, I guess. Alright, so I want to just declutter these bags a bit. Actually, I can throw the gravel in there too. Empty this one. Stone dust in here. Anything else can go in here. Okay. Get out of here before I run out of flight potions and have to run along the long way. Oh, okay. Looks like John is preparing for the quad algae farms. And honestly, that's what I should work on next. I should upgrade the... Let's go check out farming status first, and then we're going to head to the asset shop again. These are coming along. Witherweed is probably going a bit slow. Okay. Alright, I need to count here. So I need 30 sterile farm casings. Oh, that's kind of gross. Doable, but gross. And one of these. And then I'm going to need... Because I'm not going to be doing these to Ivy, just because we don't have the tungsten steel for that. Especially with John planning out 4 new ones already. So... I'm just going to upgrade these ones to Eevee. Get a bit more speed going on that. Wait. Wait. There's no way. How? Has he already built some? He must have already built some. There's no way otherwise. Where's his power coming from? It's not here? Where is it coming from? Right there. Okay. Neat. I like that. Though I don't like that this is still not in the nuke safe glass, though. Though I did hear someone say that P2Ps for energy, or for GT energy specifically, are kind of finicky for some reason. I don't know what that reason was though. Anyway, has he really not done an algae pond? Are we really just getting that much from the one EV? Server reboots. Okay, so it has issues when the server reboots. Do the issues fix themselves, or do you have to come in and fix them every server reboot? A2 takes a while to restart, so you need buffers on the outputs. That does make sense. Okay, so I'm kind of shocked because that means this is actually running us in the positive then. Which it did not look like it was last night, because we upgraded this and then we hung around for like half an hour, kept an eye over here, and things weren't really improving, but now they are. So that's interesting. Hmm. I kind of want to shut these off when hydrochloric and sodium sulfate are full, but some occasions the hydrochloric will get full first, so shutting that off would stop the sodium sulfate. And that if I just shut off the sodium sulfate, this would just keep running indefinitely anyway, so that's... I'll just leave it. Not a big deal, but... I think this is enough for the next algae pond. Definitely enough. Let's get the controller first, because it's going to be in a really weird spot. Let's do this in HP building, actually. Damn, okay. I'll just make a bunch of manual deaths then. Oh, it's bronze dust. I always mix up bronze and copper. Okay, I guess I have to make some bronze first. I don't know how I miscounted that, but I guess I did. How's our compost doing? Not great. Might need a bit of an upgrade on that. Crafting card allows you to automatically request auto crafting of items in an ME interface. If you put in items to be stocked, if there aren't enough, it will craft them until it reaches the selected amount. Remember that these are being by the network. Oh, these are being stocked by the network. No, I'm reading this so wrong. Remember that these are being stocked for crafting recipes that the ME interface has. If you want them to be seen by the network, you'll need to put in a storage bus on the ME interface itself. That's how that works, okay. Now we know. And I think that means I can do this then. This one can't be used for compost, okay. This one's 2 to 1 compost. 4 to 1. 1 to 1. 1 to 2. Hmm. Let's do this one, I think. I just realized I'll need that won't work. We'll have to think about that after. Let's just get this upgrade going. Huh? Hold on a second. Don't know if that was the play. I feel like you should have left those up for hand feeding and set this one up for dedicated. But I believe you needed that one for the tungsten anyway. I guess I can't do that right now then. That kind of sucks. Gives me time to think about this though. If I put a crafting card on this interface right here, requesting it to craft a stack. In fact, let's go with... Hold on one sec, I gotta double check over here. So, requesting, let's say 2 stacks of compost, right here with a crafting card, so that I always keep crafting compost when it's needed for this area. Ooh. And then I put a stocking bus for here and here by putting one here. Actually, let's put a stocking bus here and here. And then on the stocking bus, I say accept compost. Would it count? Would the stocking bus recognize the compost in the interface? Or technically that's not in the system, so would it not recognize that maybe? I'm not actually sure how that would work. I feel like it wouldn't work because it wouldn't recognize the compost in the interface there as part of compost in the system. Yeah, this is gonna take forever. Alright, well, that was my next plan for the day. I don't know what to do now. These are still statting. Now, John did say he tested the... What is it? What is it? What would it be called? Crafting input bus processes patterns directly from ME. So you don't even need interfaces, you just make patterns and put them in your ME system. And this can process those. That's interesting. Alright, that is something we can try. Water reservoir. I didn't even think of this. John just pointed this out to me. Well, I only need one. Oh, hey there. I guess technically, actually, now that I think about it, I don't need that. I actually would only need one of these. Though no, I would need the hatch, wouldn't I? No, I would need it, because that doesn't... No, I would need the hatch. Alright, let's give that a shot. Theoretically, this should work. Let's find out. If it does, that's going to be huge for our algae ponds. That thing's almost full. Nice. So technically, we can overclock our algae farms to a higher tier without breaking the rules, because we just need casings, and we don't actually need the hatches or the buses. We just need ME output buses and stocking input buses, and the water reservoir to count as the fluid tank. And then we just put on whatever is the higher tier of what we currently are. So we're EV, we can use IV casings, because that doesn't qualify any of the quests in IV. The first quest is the IV hull, so we are able to make the casings. So that's going to be great, and that means as soon as we hit IV, which I don't think will be long from now, probably honestly by next Monday, if all goes well this week, we'll be able to instantly go to LUV, Algae Farms, which will be allowing us to get... What is it? I have to fly back this way to remind myself what it is. I know red is at EV-IV area, or IV specifically. Red, golden brown. I guess it's just red. Is there not another one? I thought there was... Did I not account for that? GTNH Algae Farm? Oh, it is just red, okay. Well, we'll be getting a lot more red. And golden brown. Not, we're already doing good on golden brown though, but the red will be very nice. Plus we'll be getting a lot more of the others. So just all around great. Alright, so... I still need to test if we can get away with... Actually, you know what? Can we... Oh, hey there, John. How's it going? Things are things are good, but kind of tired. I see. Well, hopefully next time you sleep, you get a decent amount of rest. Alright, so I do want to test if the crafting thought I had would work. Probably not good to actually run it if it does, but... Okay, so let's give it a shot. We'll get put one in for now. $109 algae is a lot. Yeah, it is. I was surprised because after I upgraded to the EV casings, I stayed on for about half an hour and I was watching our algae. It wasn't going up at all. But at some point, I guess it started going up after I got off. Quite a bit. Might be good to just upgrade or update the ones here and not make more. That'd be fair. I wouldn't complain of having more to work with in the end, but it's probably not necessary. The sulfuric acid and methane are now full. Oh yeah, okay. I thought the methane was still going, but you're right. That makes sense. Yeah, once it's not and methane's not getting used, so now it's just stocking it up. Right. Okay, that explains a lot. Because the methane's the one that would use that. Which means we need to find something to use all that good methane on now. I wanted to see stocking buzz. Rafting. Hard. Let's see if this works. I doubt it will, but we can try. They're still running. Good. And then we would just have to try this. Where are they? There they are. How did I pull that many out? No, because it's an interface, it doesn't count as being in the system. Hmm. Okay, so that won't work. I think the best thing in the end would be to just upgrade this to a better macerator, and then we could batch mode it and have a level emitter. But I don't think I'll be doing that today. That's something to do in the future. But we will definitely want the use of the compost. Because with the compost, when we're in EV, we can get the IV casings, put the compost in, and it counts as a LUV because of the extra compost. And then when we hit IV and we get the LUV casings, so that will probably be a while because that'll probably be a material we don't have a lot of. We'll be able to do the same thing to jump it up to UV while still in LUV. So we'll want to figure that out in the long run because we will want the compost going, but it's not a necessity right now. We're getting quite a bit with just the one at the moment. So I will put the other stocking bus on for the future when we do want to switch that way. Because we definitely will. Still running good. We can also put the water reserves on now, because we will be needing them when we do the extra upgrading. Or the reservoir, I mean. Whoops, I didn't get another one. I thought I had two. Pulling out a casing doesn't shut down the machine. Pulling out the water does. That's interesting. Okay, it says I have two. Where did it go? Confused. What is our neodymium situation? Good. It is fine. Oh, I did have another one down here. I somehow dropped it. I don't know how that happened. Alright, so now when we build up the other one, it should instantly fill with water because it has a water reservoir attached to it. Gonna go play with nukes and glass and do testing and creative again. Alright. Enjoy yourself. Actually. Can I not type? Anyway, I will make sure to do that if I'm doing any upgrading in there. At some point tonight, I will have to come and switch this, probably with Plumbilia, but I will be getting off in a few minutes, so it won't be tonight. Oh, these are still statting, eh? This one's going, though. Galvania. Might be the Galvania we do later tonight, because the Plumbilia is not even going. Either way, we're going to do one of these two. We're going to switch the Witherweed out with one of these two. Plant the Witherweed. Yeah, we want Plumbilia here and Galvania here, I believe. We'll probably put Witherweed right here. We do got a bunch of extra spruce now, so anyone who might need it for better tree farms. How much do we even have? 173. Holy. We got quite a bit of that. We'll need more, I'm sure. At some point I want to do a full 3-layer MV farm somewhere. But that probably won't be necessary for quite a while. Now, what did I do today? Tell you what, I didn't take any screens, so I need to take at least 1 or 2 now. Honestly, this is like the only screen-worthy thing I took today, or did today. Something that visually is different. I don't even think I planted anything up here, did I? No. I did spruce, and I didn't actually plant the spruce. Take a screen here, then. And honestly, that's all I can really visually show. But on that note, I am going to be heading out. I got things to do tomorrow, so it's going to have to be a short night tonight. But I do want to thank everyone for stopping by and hanging out. To all the people who lurked about in the chatters and the people who gave me advice today, especially Ablazing and JC and Brekius. I think all 3 of you were telling me how you can push your tools beyond the redstone modifiers. I thought it was only 50 out of 50, but no, once you hit 50, you can go more. That's great to know, because my hammer is already really fast, and I can't imagine how fast I can get it. It's gonna be great. But I do actually need to... Let me take a screen of this to remind me. I need to request Vanguard braces of steady progression, since it's Thaumcraft. Because that will be really useful. Being able to mine at full speed while flying. Definitely can't pass that up. But thank you everyone for hanging out. I'm gonna go look for a raid. I want you all to have a good day or night, whatever it is for you, wherever you are, and take care of yourselves. And on that note, let me go look for that raid, and I'll see you later.